I've just started out. It's my first step on the trail. So the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, in this case 500 kilometers. And the first thing that I've come across, I haven't even left Fethiye yet, is rock tombs cut into the hills or the cliffs surrounding Fethiye. You can see one just behind me, and they're cut into the live rock, and there's several of them. And also on the short walk I had to come up here, I also went past Roman ruins that are just on the side of the road. So it's kind of cool, even within the first 500 meters. So there we go. Day one, first 500 meters. Rock tombs cut into the living rock. This is the back of Fethiye Castle, and you can see the goats, you know, sort of just eating all the way up the cliff face. So if you look carefully, you'll see goats just sort of precariously on the cliff face, next to some tombs as well, and further up. Okay, I bought this loaf of bread in a local shop on the way up here for 5 tels, which is about 20 cents Australian. So that's going to be the basis of my lunch. And I've got jam and margarine and a few other things in my bag. So this is the view as you're leaving Fethiye, and you can see how beautiful it is and how much the city stretches out in all directions. And this is Fethiye Castle. This is as close as I can get because it's an archaeological site at the moment. And you can see I've already gained some altitude, but I'm looking behind me, there's quite a lot more to go. So I think I'm heading up that hill just there. So bear with me. I think I'm going to need it. I'm over the first rise, and I'm just on the start of the downhill. I feel really good. And the path sort of shadowed the road, so every so often a car would go past, which I didn't really like. But it was, 50 meters or so off the road, and it was very walkable and a bit steep in places, but very walkable. When I came back to the road, where I've got to walk along the road a little bit now, I thought, oh, people are leaving water caches, because every 50 meters or so there'd be these big things of water. But then I saw what they're actually for. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but these water is for using in forest fires. So I suppose the idea is you use it before it gets too big. So there's quite a lot of them on the side of the road. Okay, here's an example of the trail. It looks quite flat here, but really it's quite steep, and it's cobbled. And, I'd like to think it, in my imagination, that it's an old Roman road, but it looks like it's in too good a condition. There's bits of it where it's fallen away completely. I'm not very good at holding this camera, but most of it's pretty much intact. So it's lovely to walk on, a bit slippery because of the moss, but other than that, it's great. It's kind of hard to get good video, but there's an entire abandoned village, thousands of houses up this hill. They're all in stone. And I think we're in a place called Kayaköy, or something like that. And thousands of abandoned houses on one side of the road, all the way up the hills. And on the other side of the road, they're building new subdivisions. So work it out. The trail takes you through the abandoned village of Kayaköy. And you might wonder, why is the village abandoned? Well, supposedly there was a bit of a tiff back in the 1920s between Turkey wanting to get rid of all the Greek Christians and Greece wanting to get rid of all the Muslim Turkish people. So effectively, Turkey started to, do some pretty horrible things, put the Christians into forced labor camps and things like that. And villages like this, they basically forcibly depopulated them and sent them to Greece. And what the Greeks did was took the Muslims and sent them to Turkey. Now, the Muslims that came to Turkey basically filled the villages that were abandoned by the Christian villages that had been abandoned, except for this one, which they thought was haunted. And there's thousands and thousands of houses here that just lied abandoned, and it's quite eerie to walk through. So ethnic cleansing is not new. Oh, it's 20 lira to come in here, which is like €1. You could avoid it by walking around on the road, but the path does go directly through the village, and hopefully it'll stay off the main road and be a nice quiet walk to the next town. Okay, the trail on this section is a lot less distinct. It's kind of hard to see where it goes, but you know, it's steep as well. It doesn't look steep in this. It's really annoying. It doesn't look steep here, but trust me, it's steep. So you can see where I've come out of the village, and I don't know if you can see the trail, but there's a sort of light trail down there.
Look at that. That's a beautiful mushroom. I think it'd kill you really quickly, but it's beautiful. You know, there's lots and lots of mushrooms in Turkey. There, almost every couple of feet, there's a different one. So here's another one here, but there's brilliant orange ones. There's brown ones. They're everywhere. Okay, I've been walking for about 2 hours, and it's amazing how little distance you can come in 2 hours, carrying a pack, walking on uneven surfaces, changing elevations both up and down, and also doing wayfinding. So I thought I'd just break up the day a little bit by doing a gear review. So the first thing I'm going to go through is, also look at how this chest and belly strap accentuate my figure. I'm really cutting a fine figure with these on. This really should be a hip strap, but it sits so well on top of my belly. If I got a bigger pack, it would probably be a hip strap. So this is what I'm using to carry water. It's a technical solution, and it carries about 1 litre. The pack comes with two side pockets and restraining straps, which these fit in perfectly. So these containers are sold all around Turkey at almost every convenience store and come filled with a brown liquid, which either tastes like chemical sewer water or the nectar of the gods. It depends which camp you fall in. I fall in one very firmly, so I have a plethora of these bottles. So anyway, once you get rid of all that horrible dark coloured liquid, they make an excellent water carrier. And also, it's a really great way to get more use out of a single-use plastic. So it's kind for the planet. In the coming days, we'll be doing more technical reviews of camping gear.
Here's a nice welcome. Kitty cat. How are you?
Tomorrow is the 21st of December, and the Fat Man will be doing section 2 plus half of section 3, approximately. He'll be staying at Shiva Camp in Kabak. Tomorrow he'll have to hike up 16% and even 20% grades. So please like and subscribe, and let's see how this plays out.